introduced to the new cast of RHOA, Real Housewives of Atlanta. Finally, they finally got a cast together. How do y'all feel about this new cast of ladies? I don't really know how I feel about it. You know, I feel like, they did a mix of bringing in half of the old school folks back, and now they have these new girls, like 3 or 4 new girls. I wanted all the old folks back. Let's just go ahead and start here. They started off with firing Sheree, which we would have never thought that they were going to do that. I got a good feeling, in my opinion, that Portia had something to do with that. You know what I mean? I have a good feeling about that. Because she went out with Simon, right? She went out and hung out with Simon, and that probably upset her greatly. So, yeah. I just got a feeling that Portia had something to do with um, getting rid of Sheree, because I feel like they really needed to keep Sheree because she always keeps stuff going. But they got rid of Sheree. It appears that Sheree may have been replaced with Shamia, which used to be on the show as a friend with Portia. So Shamia has been ushered in. Sheree is out, and it says with the news of anchoring cast comes the confirmation of OG Sheree Whitfield, who has exited the show. As reported, Candy Barris has also basically left the show. She's saying that they didn't ask her to leave, and so is Andy. Andy is saying that he didn't fire her. But we're glad Candy is gone, because she really wasn't giving us a true picture of what was happening in her life, in my opinion. She just wanted it always to be a positive light, no gritty stuff, no drama. It's just her and her family. And I just get tired of Candy using the show for advertisement purposes of her businesses, okay? There's nothing wrong with doing that, Candy, but we also want to see the drama, and she never came with that. All she did was cry all day in every episode, and that was it. So no, we need Candy gone. If they want to give her her own little spinoff, fine. At least we can carve her out of Real Housewives of Atlanta and not be tortured with 10 and 15-minute segments of her being a family mom. I think that's great, but you need to do that on your own show, Candy, not on RHOA. Who else is out? Marlo is out, which I feel like was a mistake. I feel like Marlo kind of kept stuff going, and I feel like more and more of her story was getting interesting, even though it was mostly about her and the kids. I think that dynamic was a little different, and the reason why is because Marlo has always been perceived as being the woman of the night, when really when we saw her being an auntie mom, or Monty as she calls it, we saw a different side of Marlo that we really began to enjoy. And I just feel like they didn't give her enough time to truly develop her character so that we, could appreciate her fully. I could appreciate her being messy and appreciate her being a Monty, and I feel like she deserved another season, but they didn't give it to her. And also Sonia Ross, she was kicked off the show too. Which Sonia, I'm glad she's gone, because she was kind of boring, and it's just this was the girl who was the former Olympian, the track star. I just didn't find her storyline interesting. There's just not a lot to add to that. I just didn't find it interesting. And this article came as a result of That Grape Juice. So that's thatgrapejuice.net. They were basically explaining who's going to be on the show and off the show. And basically we have obviously Portia, Drew, Shamia, who has been upgraded from friend of the cast. New folks we have is Brittany Eady, who's a podcast host and an entrepreneur. She's a newcomer. We have Kelly Farrell, who's a restaurateur and Food Network alum. And we also have Angela Oakley, who is the wife of NBA great Charles Oakley. And then, of course, we have Miss Cynthia, who you can always buy for $1.99. Miss Cynthia Bailey coming back as a friend of a show. I'm telling you, she ain't even fighting for a peach. She just like, just let me come on as a friend and pay me my 75 cents and I'll show up and keep the peace. That's terrible, I know. And we need people like Cynthia on the show because she does keep a balance and she's always going to be a fan favorite. But you know, I, she's just going to always be that girl that goes along and gets along. I'm hoping that they'll be able to bring Nene back at some point. Phaedra is not going to be able to come back this season. I think they tried, but they're not going to let her out of her 3-year contract. I didn't know it was 3 years. So basically, we probably won't. If Phaedra can keep, if she wants to come back and keep the interest on her, we probably won't be able to see her until 2027. So yeah, it'll be a long time before we hopefully get to see Phaedra again on this show. Maybe 2026, 2027, but we'll see. So yeah, that's who we've got as a cast. We have Cynthia Bailey, Angela Oakley, Callie Farrell, Brittany Eady, Shamia Morton, Drew Sidora, child. And Kenya Moore and Portia Williams. Now, this show is centered obviously around Portia. I'm feeling kind of lukewarm because I'm not feeling this cast. I don't know these other 3 or 4 new girls really. So you don't know if they're going to bring it. And then at the same time, you also don't want them to overdo it. Trying to, impress the fans instead of just living their true lives and being their true selves. So you just don't know what you're going to get. Obviously, we want to see the drama unfold. But if Portia doesn't authentically reveal what's going on in her marriage, and if we can't get Simon's side of it, if Simon doesn't agree to allow his footage to be added to the show, then this show is going to be shitty. It's going to be shitty again. All right? Nobody cares about what's going on in Kenya's life. Because Kenya, we don't even know if Kenya's really, she said she's getting divorced, but no one seems to be able to find her marriage license or certificate. So we don't even know if she's really married or not. Allegedly. She keeps saying, talking about this divorce she's been going through for the last 3-4 years, but I don't really believe it. I don't really believe she was ever married. That's in my opinion. We've not seen any certificates, any proof. She keeps saying she's working with an attorney to get divorced. I think that's just all fodder and acting. I think it's fake. So the only real storyline we got going on right now is Portia, and we don't even know if we're going to get to see that authentically. It'd be interesting to see Shamia's life, being that she's Portia's friend who's now being upgraded to a peach holder with Portia's help. But I hope this doesn't make her a rivalry to Portia, because Portia, she gets a little insecure sometimes, and the very person who was your homegirl will turn on you. She will, in my opinion, I feel like she's going to turn on Shamia. And that's another messy thing that we might get to see, especially if Shamia starts to win over our hearts and becomes more of a favorite to us than Portia. Portia may strike on Shamia, and just that relationship will probably deteriorate right before our eyes. Kind of like her relationship with she and Phaedra. So, I don't know. We'll see. These other girls, we'll get to see what they're about. I don't really know them, but I guess I'll get to know them. RHOA is one of my favorite reality shows. It hasn't been of late because of just all the changes they made and all the people that they've gotten rid of, but hopefully they can revive it. I guess we should keep an open mind. Right now I'm a meh. That's where I am on it. But anywho, y'all let me know what y'all think about all of these things. Drop down in the comment section and let me know your thoughts on things. I'm going to keep an open mind. It says that taping reportedly begins imminently. It's basically, they're saying that taping is starting now, and that it's supposed to premiere. Real Housewives of Atlanta will be premiering in 2025. So, yep, we got to wait another year and see where, this goes. So, hopefully they've started taping, and we'll get a good show. So, you guys, thank you for dropping by. Please like, comment, share, subscribe. I hope y'all like the visuals. I'm getting better at this, guys. Hanging in with me. Please join the Missy Speaks TV family. Comment below on all these topics and let me know what you think. All right. Until the next time. Mwah, 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 mwah. Bye.